Imagine walking into a crowded room. The air hums with chatter, laughter, and whispered secrets. But suddenly, you realize something has changed. You no longer just hear people, you feel them. Every unspoken thought, every buried fear, every hidden desire comes rushing into your mind like a tidal wave. You glance at a stranger across the room, and before they even smile, you already know what they think of you. For the first time in human history, silence has vanished. Minds are no longer private sanctuaries. They are open books. Now ask yourself, if you had this power, would it be a gift or a curse? Welcome back to Think What If, the channel where we venture into the deepest corners of possibility. Today, we're exploring a question that has haunted philosophers, scientists, and storytellers for centuries. What if we could read minds? What would society look like if our innermost thoughts were laid bare, and nothing, absolutely nothing, could be hidden? At first, the idea sounds intoxicating. No more lies, no more misunderstandings. You'd know exactly how your partner feels about you, whether your friend truly has your back, or if your boss actually values your work. Imagine negotiating a business deal where deception is impossible, or going on a first date where the truth about attraction is undeniable. The thought of a world without dishonesty feels like stepping into utopia. But pause for a moment. Would it really be paradise? Or would the truth cut deeper than any lie ever could? Picture waking up tomorrow with this ability. The first person you see, perhaps your partner, greets you with a smile. But beneath that smile, you hear the echo of their private frustrations, doubts, or regrets. The words they speak may be kind, but their thoughts reveal another layer, one you were never meant to hear. How would that change your relationship? Would love survive when every hidden insecurity is suddenly exposed? What would you do in that moment? Cling tighter or walk away? Now step outside into the world. The streets are filled with people, but the soundscape of the city is no longer car horns or footsteps, it's thoughts. Overlapping, colliding, relentless streams of consciousness. Some are mundane. I need groceries. Did I lock the door? Others are darker, jealousies, secrets, forbidden desires. The sheer weight of humanity's inner life presses against your mind until you can hardly breathe. Could you handle it? Or would the flood of raw human truth drive you into madness? But let's imagine the broader consequences. Entire industries would be shattered overnight. Politics, for example, campaign speeches would become irrelevant. Why listen to promises when you can already hear the real intentions lurking behind the practiced words? Corruption, manipulation, hidden agendas, every mask would be stripped away in an instant. Some leaders would fall immediately, their power undone by the very thoughts they had worked so hard to conceal. And others? They might rise higher, celebrated for the rare purity of thought that aligns with their words. Would democracy flourish in this transparent world, or collapse under the unbearable weight of truth? Think about the justice system. No more alibis, no more courtroom dramas, no more he said, she said. A suspect's guilt or innocence would be written plainly in their thoughts. Crimes could be solved in moments. But ask yourself, where does justice end and tyranny begin? If you can hear what people think, would we start punishing thoughts instead of actions? A fleeting impulse, an angry fantasy, a dark daydream, would these become crimes? If so, are any of us truly innocent? And what of friendships? Picture sitting with your closest companion. You've shared everything with them, or so you thought. But now you sense the envy they've hidden for years, the small resentments, the criticisms they never dared to speak aloud. Could the bonds of friendship survive when the veil of privacy is ripped away? Or would relationships crumble under the unbearable truth that we are rarely as kind in thought as we are in words? Yet, amidst the chaos, there could be wonder. Imagine the possibility of true empathy. To not only know what someone says, but to feel what they feel. To walk inside their pain and joy as if it were your own. The walls between people, the barriers of language, culture, and misunderstanding could dissolve. Humanity could become more united than ever before. Wars might be harder to justify when soldiers can sense the fear and suffering of their enemies. Prejudice might fade when we truly experience the humanity of those we once called other. Is it possible that reading minds could create a world of unparalleled compassion? But let's not be naive. Power is never simple. What happens when mind reading falls into the hands of governments, corporations, or individuals with dangerous ambitions? Imagine a society where your most private thoughts are harvested like data, bought and sold to the highest bidder. Privacy would cease to exist. Freedom itself would hang by a thread. Would you still feel human if the sanctuary of your mind was no longer yours? And here's the most haunting question of all. If everyone could read minds, could we even bear to keep living among each other? Or would society tear itself apart under the weight of truths we were never meant to know? The small lies we tell, the polite smiles, the reassurances, the little masks we wear, these are not just deceptions. They are the glue that holds civilization together. Strip them away, and what remains? Brutal honesty or unbearable chaos? As the noise of thoughts fills your imagination, pause and reflect. Would you want this power? Would you embrace it as a tool of truth and empathy, or reject it as a curse that destroys intimacy and freedom? What would you do if the minds of everyone around you were suddenly laid bare? In the end, perhaps the greatest mystery of all is that our thoughts are private for a reason. They are raw, unfiltered, messy, and often fleeting. To expose them would be to reveal not who we truly are, but who we are in our weakest, most imperfect moments. Maybe the walls of our minds are not prisons, but shields. Shields that protect not only ourselves, but each other, from truths too heavy to carry. So as we close this journey into the impossible, let us remember, sometimes the things we cannot see are the very things that make us human. The silence of the mind may not be emptiness, but a sacred space that allows love, trust, and society itself to exist. Until next time, guard your thoughts, cherish your privacy, and never stop asking, what if?